Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Let's put this back over here. Maybe we can see it a little better. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Libra and a very special night. It is the eve of the solstice. It is also the night that the channel has met 25K subscribers. So congratulations to us all. We couldn't have, gotten here without all of you. As a community. And I say we because I really feel like this channel is as much yours as it is mine or my family's. And I just can't express. I get so emotional when I think about it. It really is just such a blessing to be able to do these readings, to connect with you all. Okay, so let's get started. Here comes Pudgy. I can hear you, Pudgy. You want to say hello? And then we got to get started. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, buddy. Let's go. No, I don't want you to knock everybody over up there. Come on. Come on. I know, it's so late. It's almost midnight, isn't it? Come on. Come on. I just got the baby back to sleep. She's not feeling well. And now I need to get my reading done so I can also go to bed. Oh, I love you, but you gotta go. There you go. Jump, jump, jump. Jump, jump, jump. All right. Okay, well, Pudgy came and said hello and thank you. And he also told me it's time to get to bed. Okay, so let's see what we have going on, Libra. Let's get to this reading. Okay. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. All right, so I want to look at this. I want to look at this right here. It looks like a person holding a cup. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups, the Grail, the vessel of those powerful and divine emotions. Did I say what our card was? It's the World card. Okay, and this would be the Universe in the Thoth deck. For the bonus readings, I have been using the Del Toro deck because it's really cool. They're a little bit strange and some of them a little bit grotesque, but I really do love them. They're gorgeous. And I'm a huge, huge admirer of Del Toro. Okay, so let's see. So we have the person holding or reaching out, okay, to this cup. Coming into a situation of emotional control. Okay, everything in its right place. No limitations. There are so many opportunities because your mind, body, spirit are there and ready to get involved. Aligned. The world to me, the universe or world, when I look at it, I think this is the place of the beginning and the end. and everything between, the Alpha, the Omega, all things met, all things balanced, all things chaos, right? Everything makes sense, nothing makes sense. All of the opposites are are there, all of the cognitive dissonance, and it is infinite. Okay, so the potentiality for anything, everything, all things, no things. This is the place, right? Now we have a large wolf. Okay, overshadowing, standing above this being. This looks like a goddess figure to me. This is the divine feminine, and really truly the holder of the water, right? The portal, the holder, and you know, the creator, really. And so we have this wolf kind of standing over. And now I don't think this is menacing. You can look at the posture. It does not look like it is on the attack. No, this is beloved unto this goddess. Okay, we can think of a lunar goddess, a huntress, a goddess of the wilderness. In my mind, you know, what comes to mind in my mind, some Norse goddess, Slavic maybe, you know, and I talk a lot about Diana, and that's because I have a personal love and beloved in that archetype, that particular goddess. But you know, any of these kind of very fierce, feminine archetypes, somewhat solitary, right? Individual, the ability to maneuver in the ways that are needed to anticipate, very connected to all things around. Okay, and so I feel like it's just, you are so in that, if you could imagine somebody running through the forest, knowing where to place their feet, not on a trail, I mean through the thick, right? Knowing where to place their feet, knowing where to kind of jump over things, knowing when to stop. There's a chasm, an incline, you know, something. I feel like this is where your mind is. You are just so in touch with whatever's going on in your life, whatever you're really putting your heart into right now. And I feel you just, you know, it's like a pulsing of connection. It's not just connection. I mean, it is the intent to create, to get there by all means necessary. And you know the way. You know where that secret door is. I'm imagining, you know, like in the secret garden, that wall covered in ivy. The door is hidden, but you know how to get right there, running through the woods, running through that forest, getting to that wall and knowing where to place your hands, where to, you know, turn the door, turn the key, and go through. It all seems so fast and seamless. You're a master of your own destiny here. And I think that you have intentionally come into this role. You should, I just feel like there is no other way for you right now. You are activated. You are vibrating high, 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 high. And down here, I want to look at down here. We have, it looks like a large flower, but I also see flags, and I see a person standing here. And I feel like you've really created your own space, like you have your own kingdom. Okay, and I feel like in this place, you feel, it feels so vast, even if it is so small, right? Relatively. This little tiny square of existence that is yours. But it feels like it spreads out into, you know, the great unknown, to the borders of all things, you know, and I can just imagine you, you know, being dreamy and walking through your home and, you know, touching your things and listening to music quietly and you know, just kind of swaying to it and you know, making your coffee, drinking your tea, and just taking a moment to look over all that you have achieved. This is yours. This is yours, even if it's only in this moment. There's a freedom here. It's something that I don't think you expected to find. I don't think that you knew that this is where you would be able to get to. And I almost wonder, like, if you at some point had these big ideas about life, right? Things that were maybe just kind of put in your head about, like, the dream of, you know, success, or what is the standard of, you know, doing well. And I feel like, you know, that was it was almost like an enemy to you for a long time. And Pudgy. No. Oh, goodness. Okay, so and I feel like it was a bit of an enemy to you. Okay, and I feel like it made it harder to enjoy, you know, the successes that you did have, the goals that you met, your achievements. But it almost felt like, oh, this isn't what I envisioned. This isn't enough. This isn't how I thought it would be, and so on. But I think that you have learned to let that go. And I look at this and I see there are the peaks in life, right? The ups and the downs, but also the journey. We have a person standing here and going down and going up and almost falling off the ledge here. Okay. But I don't think that's where it ends. I think that there's very much, you look over here, it looks like a phoenix, okay, with kind of the fires and the aura of it above. And I feel like after this thing that happened, that really maybe was somewhat destabilizing, was kind of that tower moment. You have begun to rise once more. Okay, you are not one to just lay down and give up, right? But this time you've begun to really shake off all that stuff that wasn't for you. You know, that career, that house, the relationship, the perfect configuration of a family, you know, whatever all those like outmoded markers are, right? Or were, still linger a little bit in our psyche, but you know, we're collectively moving away from that. Okay. And I think that you have become somebody who has found your own meaning. And in this is a wealth of opportunity. I mean, there is so much to do, so much to see, so many places to go. What will I do? What will I do? You know, and this can be scary at times, for sure. You know, but at the same time, I look at this and I see these little magicians here. Okay, and I see a lot of these people who are kind of lifting things. Lifting. Even in this one, if you see this way, it looks like somebody kind of lifting. Maybe a child, and the child is lifting, and you know, this thing is kind of burning and swirling, and almost kind of some kind of offering or incense or whatever it is. But the point really is not exactly what they're doing, but the point is that they are doing. You know, you are creating your own world, your own universe, your own perception. You will not live in somebody else's vision anymore. You can't. We cannot. We cannot live in other people's concepts of what should be, of other people's, you know, ideas of reality. You know, to some point, a little bit, but we have to strip it down and start again. You know, when you get to that point where, I don't know, they maybe used to call it like a breakdown of some kind or disillusionment or, you know, whatever, some kind of break. And now I don't mean, you know, completely, I'm not making light of, you know, mental health. I would never, because I myself have, you know, had pretty serious acute things when I was younger. And have been in a lot of therapy. And let me say, if that is something that you feel is happening now or in the future, I am always a big supporter of seeking therapy. Okay. I know it's probably not cool in this spiritual sector that I kind of work in, the industry that doing readings and stuff. But I believe therapy is very beneficial if you have the privilege to have access to it. I think everybody should try it. And I think that it goes hand in hand with the spiritual work. So that being said, I do think that really, and you know, I think this is kind of even more akin to what people would call maybe like a midlife crisis, where you just become kind of disillusioned by the game that you've been playing, because nobody can win. Even if you are winning on a, you know, minor scale, like you're never going to win. It's never enough. So we have to figure out what do we actually want? What is actually meaningful? You know, what are we here for? What keeps me motivated? You know, what is it? What is your true will? Okay. And I know I talk about this a lot, and these are words that maybe mean everything to, maybe mean basically nothing. I don't know. We all have our own jargon. But, you know, for me, and I will share, ultimately, it is the love. The love is my religion. And it's not just romantic. That's a very minor part, but it is love. Cosmic love, the love that I felt when I had my daughter, and I, you know, got to look at her for the first time. We saw each other, and when I nursed her, and you know, and even every moment of now, even when it's frustrating and I'm tired and she's grouchy and whatever, that love. You know, the love I have with the animals, with my cats. By the way, I've had some comments, people telling me that they don't want them in the videos, and I will not stop my cats from coming. I try to shoo them, but I won't stop them. This is their house. They're my equals. There's much beings that deserve to roam this home as much as I do. And these tea leaf readings are as much theirs as they are mine or yours or anybody else's. And so I'm sorry, but if you don't like cats, don't come here. You know, I want you to be here, but I'm not getting rid of my cats. Or not letting them in. Okay. Other than that, you know, it's just the love of finding things that are interesting. I love music, and I love, you know, growing things. I love being in the garden. I love being, you know, with my family. I love creating things. I love looking at beautiful and grotesque and spiritual and religious icons and symbols and, you know, all these things. And this is what the meaning of my life is. One of the great meanings. And, you know, we have to find out, what does that really mean for us? What does that mean? You know, the other thing for me is finding some kind of absolution in all of this. Cleansing my heart so that it feels light again. You know, a lot of things have happened, as they do for all of us, you know. We go through years, and you cannot get out of life unmarked by things. And, you know, I've made bad choices sometimes, and I've said things that have been hurtful to people, and, you know, my actions have not always been honorable. But I try now, you know, in the last 10 years or so, I've really tried so hard to turn that around, you know, and that is another thing, is finding some kind of self-absolution through my actions, through my words, through how I treat people, you know, living in a crusade of love and lifting up, you know, trying to lift people up and connect, and, you know, and so on. So I just say these things not because I feel any less or more or special or anything like that, because I'm not. I'm just some freaking person like anybody else. You know, there's nothing that special about me. You know, but I want to talk about these things because I want you to understand what I mean when I do talk about. We get to a point where we have to kind of think about, what is it that we are living for? You know, and if you are a materialist, let me tell you this, that's fine. You're not alone. You know, I'm not going to come down on somebody. You want money, you want power, you want pretty things, nice things, whatever. Okay. You know, I understand. I get it. I mean, you know, I think on some level, a lot of us have that in us. Most people. I've been poor for too long to really, you know, care that much about those things, because it's been unrealistic for me. But, you know, but I understand, you know, and I don't want to alienate anybody we all are different. We're all here for different reasons, you know, and I'm not a person that elevates spirituality over other things. It's just different. It's just different. Okay? Nobody is above anybody else in these existential ways. Okay? In these metaphysical ways. I just don't subscribe to that. Now, I look at all of this and I think, you know, and I think this is going to be quite a journey this next year. I see a person walking with kind of, I almost imagine like a thing of hay or something. And I see you doing hard work, both in the material world, in the base reality, and in our daily lives. You know, I think you are working hard. I think you're making resources for yourself. I think you are, you know, really looking after your domestic life. I really see a lot of hands-on stuff. But I also see that there is this real devotion to work with spirit. Okay, and I really feel that, and this really is kind of the, this is how I envision, you know, the Tao in those, you know, in the beginning lines, really, or the lines towards the beginning. I don't know exactly where they're at, but I think about this, doing the work and then letting it go, right? Putting it down. And I feel like you're in a place where you are finding your connection with spirit in everything that you do. Not just compartmentalizing it into, okay, this is the Sabbath day, so this is the day that I, you know, really take to be with, you know, my divine, my God, my, you know, whatever, you know, whatever feels divine to you, holy, spiritual. No, I see this in everything that you do. I think about this in the Gospel of St. Thomas when he talks about, when Jesus talks about being in all things, being everywhere, being in nature. You know, this is the temple and it is in nature. I don't remember, I'm paraphrasing, but, you know, split a piece of wood and I am there. So in all the things, from the bottom to the top, right? From the macro to the micro, micro to the macro. And so it is, you know, and so you, I feel, are living a spiritual life and you are doing the work, the, you know, high thinking, spiritual, also in your daily tasks. And this is where that world really comes in for me too. It is taking care of, in, you know, if you could think of like the Kabbalistic Sephiroth, the tree of life, all the spheres, okay, all of them, from the top to the bottom, down to the Malkuth, the you know, dirt, the material world, the roots of all things. And you are minding all. And I feel just a complete activation. You are coming into a prime time of your life. Okay, no matter what age you are. And there's not only just one, right? There's the valleys and peaks as we looked at, okay? And that's life. It does that. This is also the trine, the most powerful symbol, right? No, well, I think it's, you know, one of them. But, you know, the trine, or the trident, okay? So, beautiful, auspicious. This next year is going to be one of the ones. It's going to be the big ones, right? So I really, you know, I feel very, very blessed to be able to do this reading for you. I kind of wish I was a Libra a bit in doing this reading. This is a very lovely feeling. It really it has a high vibrating feeling. And so we're going to look at these Happier Me affirmation cards. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop where it feels right. And it says, okay, I want to make sure it's in focus. I forgive those who have harmed me in my past and peacefully detach from them. Okay. Forgiveness plays an essential role in your happiness. Forgiveness replaces the sorrow in your heart with love and peace. Yeah. I think this is, you know, if you can at least come to a place of trying to not understand in a way that, you know, allots the person any kind of, you know, a sense of not being guilty of what they did, right? But trying to understand in a broader sense that this is a flawed human being. This is a flawed person. Whatever they did it for a reason that maybe you don't understand, or maybe you do understand, but more importantly, you understand that they are, you know, somebody who is maybe sick, maybe somebody who is coming from a place of torment, sadness, abuse, trauma, whatever it is. Doesn't make it okay. But I think in trying to see and to humanize people's actions, you know, to make them something that is not so monstrous, you know, I believe that that's the beginning of the forgiveness. Now, do I understand forgiving everybody all the time? I don't know. I don't know. I'm working on it, right? I don't know if that's the way, but I think that when you do find that ability to forgive and stop carrying around that pain, it is such a weight that is lifted off of you. You know, being able to put that away, not even away, put it down. You know, throwing it in the dirt and going, moving forward, right? But that's not easy. That is some deep soul work sometimes, you know, especially when it's trauma. And let me say, trauma is relative, you know, to each person, to each situation. I can tell you through my own trauma work, I've done quite a few different kinds of therapies, but, you know, I have CPTSD, and I did a very kind of intensive therapy called CPT, and, you know, it's very difficult, and it's a lot. It is a lot. But I found that through that work, and I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm about to go to bed. I'm not going to get all upset right now. But through that work, I found there were a lot of things in my life that I just kind of went through. I was in survival mode. I went through, and they seemed minor compared to the larger things. But as I started to process this stuff, I started to realize how messed up some of the other things really were. Right? They seemed like nothing so much at the time. Even sometimes I thought it was quite funny. But now, as an adult, as somebody who really is trying to work through a lot of stuff, you know, for many years now, and will probably, you know, not probably, will continue to do, you know, it's amazing how that stuff, it just, you know, it starts to show itself as, wow, that's really hard. That's really painful, you know. But I think, you know, there is a processing. And, I don't know, it changes the dimensions of your life. And to not have to carry around that scary thing, that heartbreaking thing, that torment. You know, it changes you. It does. It changes you. It changes how you experience life. You know, and it's worth it. But, you know, hopefully you can, if you do this type of work, you do it, you have somebody facilitate it. You have a safe place to do it. You have people to check in with, you know, because it's, you know, it's hard to go about it alone, and you shouldn't have to. So anyhow, Libra, I think this is a beautiful time in your life, and I'm so honored to be able to be a part of it in some small way. And I want to thank you again, 25K. It is, I just can't even, my mind is blown, as they say. I just, wow. So if you would be so kind to like the video, it does help the channel so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. And you can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you oh yeah, it's free to subscribe. That's right. It is. We like to mention that. My husband mentioned it to me that, you know, some people wonder if, you know, they just, listen, I don't know how to use a lot of different social media things. So yes, it is free. Other than that, you know, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They mean so much to me. They truly do. And, you know, I love you. Happy solstice. This is coming out on the morning of the solstice. And we're in Saturnalia. Happy Saturnalia. And all the other holidays. There are so many different ones going on right now. This is a beautiful time of year. So many things to celebrate. And I just want to say, please, please, please take care of yourself. Drive safely. You know, no driving inebriated, but also be vigilant. You know, not everybody is thoughtful in that way. Please just be careful. Also, wash your hands. Everybody wash your hands, please. The germs are terrible right now. So I just want you to take care of yourself. I want you to be well. I love you. I love you. I love you. And we'll talk in just a few days from now. And thank you for spending this time with me.